Hello, Taurus. Today I'll be doing 3 readings for Taurus energy right now. As I'm recording this, it is the beginning of spring, but whenever you find this recording is a perfect time. I will be doing 3 readings for Taurus, so feel free to pick 1, 2, or all 3 of the readings. I will link each reading with a timestamp in the description below. So if you'd like to go directly to your reading, simply click on the timestamp and it will take you right to that reading. So let's go ahead and get started. The first group, group 1, is Polychrome Jasper. The second reading, group 2, is Orange Aragonite. And the third reading, group 3, is Red Jasper. So take your time, take a deep breath, get centered, and feel into each of the cards. Select whichever group you would like to hear, and I will see you at your reading. Group 1, this is your reading. This is reading for Taurus. And I'd like to start with what the predominant energies for Taurus are right now. So Spirit, if you could give us 1 or 2 cards telling us messages regarding the predominant energies for Taurus right now. Well, it doesn't get much sweeter than that. We're starting with the Fool. So the predominant energies that you're dealing with right now go right along with spring. A sense of adventure, a sense of renewal, a sense of starting out fresh, and a sense of endless possibilities. So great start there, Aries. All right, Spirit, could you give us 1 or 2 cards, please, to let Taurus know what might be an unconscious factor that is weighing into this situation or playing into the situation for them right now. An unconscious factor that might be affecting the situation, please, for Taurus, group 1. 1 or 2 cards, please. Okay, we got the 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. And this card is dealing with a journey. It's dealing with some elements of patience that will be needed for this journey, but it's also dealing with elements of community and a solid attachment or solid relationships, very steady, very strong bonds that you have supporting you as you set out on this new journey, this new adventure that the Fool speaks of. So Spirit, could you give us 1 or 2 cards, please? Messages with regard to a factor that Taurus may already be aware of that is affecting the situation. Okay, the Daughter of Fire, Daughter of Fire. So this is the Daughter of Wands, basically. And this card speaks of again, a newer energy, an optimistic energy, a fresh sort of energy. And this card deals with action. So it may be that you are excited to set out on a new journey. You may have gotten an offer for a new job. You may be possibly entering into a new relationship. However, this card is more a card of action than a card of relationships. So most likely this is something that has to do with your life path. Some sort of an adventure in your work life, or perhaps a new, maybe you're going to buy a new home. Maybe you are going to set out on an actual adventure, going to be doing some traveling. You know, this card speaks of a very positive aspect of that. Very, very positive vibe that this will be a fruitful trip. Something that just makes you excited and happy and feel rich. Spirit, could you please give us 1 or 2 cards, messages please, for Taurus Group 1 for the action that they may be guided to take? Okay, we got the Magician. So Magician is basically saying you can do whatever you want to do at this point. You are skilled and supported and talented and fearless, most likely as well. You have great connections. You have wonderful skills. You basically can do whatever it is you want to set your mind to at this point, and it will be successful for you. So whatever endeavor, whatever realm you want to set foot into, with the Fool and the Magician, you know, the sky's the limit. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do right now. You're supported. You've got good, solid support for this. And you have got, you know, a fire in your belly. You've got an excitement for this. You have, you're ready to go. You are ready to step out and excited about it. So Spirit, could you please give us 1 or 2 cards, please, to let Taurus Group 1 know what the likely outcome of this might be? Okay, we got the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords. So this card is speaking of coming to a place where you are in if not necessarily agreement with those around you, you are at least in a place of coexistence with those around you. So, you know, this card is saying that as you set off on whatever this new adventure is, there may be what feels like a little bit of resistance at some point, and not everyone is necessarily going to be in your corner or on board with what you're doing, but they are willing to let you do it. They believe in you, and they're willing to let you set out on whatever it is you feel that you need to do at this point. And they'll stand back and they'll let you do that. Again, you've got this support. It may be someone, you know, from this family group that has some trepidation, that's a little bit nervous about maybe you setting out on whatever this new adventure is, whether it's, you know, like I said, getting a new piece of property that might be, you know, right now, real estate is expensive, so it's going to be tricky. It's also, you know, being grabbed up in a hurry. It could be a new position, a new career, which might, you know, everything that we step into that is new always has a little bit of risk behind it. But you know, with the Magician and the Daughter of Fire here, those risks are ones that you should be willing to take because you have the capability, you have the drive, you can handle this. And the ones who are worried for you, not about you, but for you, are going to be okay with you doing that. They still will likely have some concerns for you, but they're going to step back and they're going to let you live your life. But they will be there to support you. Okay, let's see if we can get some clarification on, let's see, what deck do I want? I think this one. Let's get some clarification on these cards for us, okay? So let's start, Spirit, with the Fool card in the central position for the predominant energies for Taurus Group 1 right now. Can you please give us some clarifiers on the Fool card? Group 1 Taurus, please. Sorry about that clunk earlier. Just dropped a couple of stones on the floor, but they'll be fine. Okay, so Spirit, clarification on the Fool for Group 1 Taurus, please. The predominant energies for them right now. All right, the first card that we got here is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. So while the Fool is basically, you know, the world is your oyster, everything's wide open, you can do whatever you want to do. Sometimes that may have a little bit of indecision along with it, because if everything in the world is open to you and you're just excited to set off, there may come a point where you're not quite sure which direction to go. So the Eight of Wands is saying that things are going to clarify for you, and they're going to become fairly clear pretty quickly. There will come an aha moment where everything will just sort of fall into place, and you'll know what it is that you want to do, what you're going to do, and which way to go. The Knight of Wands is verifying that. So again, this is going to be a very quick decision. It's going to be one that you're going to feel strongly about, and it's one that likely will be a good decision. The Sun card, again, we've got some great energy here. This is saying that it's going to be a very happy decision. Everything is going to be sunny. Everything's going to be, you know, wide open and bright for you. So this is going to be whatever you set into or set off on. Is going to be, you're going to have a very decisive moment, and it's going to be very happy, and it's going to be it's going to just be a, you know, a very good decision, and you'll know right away. It's going to be a great moment of clarity for you. We also got the Knight of Swords, which is what I just said. It's going to be a moment of just extreme clarity. It's just going to like come to you like a lightning bolt, and suddenly you're going to know which way you need to go and what you need to do, and it's going to feel like the perfect thing. The Hermit card, talks about going inward and listening to your inner guidance, taking some time away from the noise around you, to be able to hear inside. And so this may be speaking of perhaps while you're trying to make this decision, you may have a lot of input from a lot of outside sources that you may be debating whether or not you should go with that. But what this is saying to you is that really, ultimately, you need to trust your own inner guidance. So if you're not just sure, you know, if you're kind of at odds with some advice that you're getting, and you maybe don't feel like that feels quite right to you, go with your intuition, go with your gut. You know the right answer. So that's what that card is telling you. Spirit, could we get some clarification, please, for the Eight of Pentacles here in the unconscious factor position for Taurus Group 1? Some clarification for the Eight of Pentacles, please. Okay, so the cards that we got here regarding this unconscious factor, we got the Seven of Cups, and we got the Five of Swords. Both of these cards are speaking of perhaps some confusion, or not necessarily confusion, but some difficult decisions. You know, both of these cards are maybe speaking to the fact that you may have to step away from this group or this support system a little bit in order to pursue what it is that you want to do here. You may have to kind of exhibit some tough love maybe here, and go with what you want to do, which may not always be the popular choice here. There may also be there may be someone here who's really trying to persuade you against what it is that you want to do. They may be making some other options look really juicy to you. They might be making some other options that look very favorable to you. They might be offering you something to try and dissuade you from doing what it is that you want to do. It's ultimately not in your best good to do that. And I think that the Six of Pentacles is kind of speaking of that. Ultimately, you need to make the decision to be kind to whomever this is, who probably has your best interest at heart, and they're trying to offer you something to keep you safe. Perhaps they're offering you a job if this is a new position that you've been offered. You know, maybe they're saying, well, hey, I could find you a job at my place, or maybe they own a business, or maybe they are, you know, offering to help you in some way that dissuades you from following this path that you've chosen here. Again, it's not in your best interest, but it's not malicious that they're trying to do this. It's just someone trying to look out for you. So this is basically saying, you know, stay strong, stay balanced in what you want to do, but be kind to those individuals, and kind of let them down easy, basically is what that's going to tell us. So for the factor that's already in your awareness, the daughter of fire here. Could we get some clarification on that, please, Spirit? Okay, yeah, so the daughter of fire, again, this was the action card that's saying you need to, that you should definitely go for whatever this is. It will be a very happy outcome. It will be something that is just fills you up, and it feels very rewarding to you. And these cards here are all confirming that. We've got the Ace of Swords and the Page of Cups. Ace of Swords, you know, is saying go for this. It's a very clarifying energy. It's a start of something. It's a start of something that's going to be very clear to you that this is the right way to go. The Page of Cups is very lighthearted. This is saying that, you know, this is a starting energy, a new energy. And this is something that's going to make you feel happy and lighthearted, and you're really, really going to be glad that you did this. And the Three of Cups is saying that, again, you're going to be so glad that you did this. You're going to be celebrating it. It's going to be something that's going to make those people around you happy. Even going back to these people here who might have some concerns with you setting out on this, once all is said and done, you're going to be celebrating with everyone. It's going to be a very happy time. It's going to be very successful for you. So, Spirit, could you give us some clarification, please, on the Magician card for the action that Taurus Group 1 is to take? Clarification, please, for the Magician for Taurus Group 1. Okay, so what we're getting here, we got the Devil, we got the Four of Pentacles, and we got the Ten of Wands. So what these cards are saying is that don't doubt this. Don't get caught up in your head thinking that you really can't do what it is. You know, I'm not good enough. I don't have enough money. I will put myself in a bad position. Whatever the speech is that's playing in your head, whatever the track is that's playing in your head that's trying to dissuade you from doing this, that's trying to turn you back, that's trying to tell you you're not good enough, don't believe it. You know, don't let this Devil card come in and influence you. The Four of Pentacles is talking about being afraid of letting go, being afraid of letting go of money, of abundance, of security. And the Ten of Wands is talking about, you know, a really heavy burden that you have to carry, that you've been carrying. The thing about this card is you're not just carrying this burden, but you need to realize that even if you are carrying this burden, you're almost to where you need to go. So these cards are just saying, you know, believe that this is the truth. Believe that you have the capability to do whatever this is that you want to do. Don't be taken in by, you know, the voices in your head or the voices around you that say you can't do this, because you can. You can do it, and you can do it well, and it's going to be a terrific outcome. So, Spirit, if you could please give us a little clarification on the Four of Swords here in the outcome position, please, for Taurus Group 1. Clarification on the Four of Swords for Taurus Group 1, please. Okay. So the first card that we got is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is saying that you have been through or you may have to go through some struggles. Again, you know, here we talked about possibly some folks that may not entirely be in your corner, but they do support you and they will let you do what you need to do. And so along with that, you know, you may go through a little bit of difficulty in trying to reach this goal or get to this place or whatever it is that you're trying to do. You might end up you may have to go through some difficult times. There may be some hiccups, there may be some roadblocks, but if you come to that point, you will still prosper, you will still accomplish what it is that you're setting out to accomplish, but you may need to take some time to kind of rest and relax a little bit and regain some strength, maybe get a little perspective from this. The Four of Cups, again, is also saying that there may come a time that you are going to need to just kind of step back a little bit. Don't take on the whole thing all at once. You know, both of these are kind of saying that when you've reached your limit a little bit, you need to take some time to rest, to regain, to, you know, regather the troops. Not take on any more than you've already taken on. Just take a little breather. But then ultimately, everything's going to work out beautifully and perfectly and wonderfully. And it's just going to be a very, very happy time. So, you know, this reading could not be better. It's just a beautiful reading for you, Taurus. And let's take a look at the Oracle card that we pulled ahead of time. This is from the Santa Muerte Oracle. And I am going to read from the book. This is the card. It is the 20th card. These cards don't have any words on them, basically. So let's see what the 20 card is and see how we can tie that in. Okay, so 20 is fraternity. No true evolution or progress is possible if we consider ourselves to be isolated from the world. This card encourages us to do any spiritual and subsequent material work in a state of solidarity and trust towards others. The primordial concept expressed by the love card must sediment in our minds so as to bloom and lead us to collaborate with others for the greater good. The advice of the dead: approach your work and your actions in a state of socialness and solidarity, perhaps starting collaborations with those you trust. It's a little additional message for this path that you're going to take here. You know, you need to remember that you can rely on this network of strength, of foundation that you have here. Also, you need to know that you will have these people to celebrate with when you get to your ultimate outcome. And just bring into play whatever connections that you need to throughout this to come to this place of, you know, this final place of great happiness and great reward. And at that place again, you'll be sharing this with the people that you love, who will still very definitely be in your life and be sharing your happiness with you. So group one, I hope this resonated for you. If it did, I would love to hear comments. Click the like button, subscribe to my channel, click the bell if you'd like notifications when new videos go up. I am so very grateful for you to be here. And I just am excited for this reading for you, and good luck to you. I hope that everything that this speaks of pans out for you. And thank you again for being here. Bye-bye. Welcome, Group 2. This is the reading for Group 2, the Orange Aragonite group for Taurus. We're going to start off with some general energies, predominant energies of what's going on for Taurus right now. All right, Taurus, we're starting off with the Fool. This is crazy. Group 1 also started off with the Fool as their predominant energies. So everybody is into spring. You guys are ready to set out on a new adventure. Nothing holding you back. You are excited about this. And that may be a new adventure in the form of actual travel. It could be a new adventure in buying something new, a new car, a new home. Could be a new adventure in starting a new job. Might be entering into a new relationship, although typically the Fool is not so much about relationship as it is about new things in your life new things that are more like your path, your life path. So Spirit, could you give us 1 or 2 cards, please, for what is an unconscious factor that Taurus Group 2 might not be aware of that might be affecting the situation? Okay, so the first card that we got is the Devil card that popped out. Along with that, we got the Prince of Wands, and we got the 9 of Cups. So I think that with the Devil card, I mean, the 9 of Cups and the Prince of Wands are typically, pretty good cards. 9 of Cups is about happiness, and the Prince of Wands is about movement. But along with the Devil card, I think that this might be saying don't get too caught up in the energies right now of being excited and happy and, just ready to kick up your heels and head off on an adventure. I think that these are kind of some cautionary cards here. The Devil card, along with the happiness and the Prince of Wands cards, I think is saying that if you try and move too quickly toward whatever it is that you have set your sights on, without giving it the proper consideration that it might need, without sort of tempering your actions a little bit, you might end up harming yourself, or you might end up in a situation that's not ideal, not quite what it could be. So, it could be that this could also be saying that there's an outside force that's acting upon the situation, that there might be some action that's being taken that you are maybe not aware of, that's going to maybe throw up some roadblocks for whatever the situation is. So be aware of that. Don't get caught up in just acting impulsively. So let's see, Spirit, if you could give us a card for a factor that is in the awareness of Taurus that may affect this situation as well. A factor that Taurus is aware of that could be affecting this situation. Okay. Okay, so we got the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, again, is talking about, an action and a very strong action. So again, we're talking about taking a strong action here. So it may be that your impulse or your nature is to take strong action when it comes to doing something new. However, we also got the Justice card come out with this, King of Wands. And the Justice card often talks a lot about balance. So I think, kind of with the read that we're getting here, what this is trying to say is that while you may be inclined to jump in with both feet, you may want to kind of try and balance that out a little bit with a little bit of patience. This may not be in your nature to be very patient. I'm guessing that it's not. It appears that you are definitely a person of action, which certainly has its place. But in this particular situation, it seems to be saying that there could be some pitfalls if you just jump right into this without being a little more patient, a little more balanced, and maybe just giving it a little more time than you might normally do. Spirit, could we have 1 or 2 cards, please, to let Taurus group 2 know what is a potential action that they're being guided to take right now. Potential action that they're being guided to take. Yeah. Okay, so we got the Temperance card, and Temperance is all about moderation. So again, we're going back to this notion that you need to maybe slow down just a little bit, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't do whatever this is, but the outcome will be much better if you take a little bit of time and kind of make sure that you know the entire situation, look at things carefully, look at all sides of the situation, and then act accordingly, balance everything out, and kind of don't be too ambitious or hot-headed, or just don't be too quick to act on this. Take a little time, calm yourself, and look at all sides of the situation before you act on it, and you will have a much better outcome if you approach it that way. So Spirit, could you please give us some guidance on what the potential outcome might be for Taurus group 2? One or two cards, please, on the outcome for Taurus group 2. Okay, so we got the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. Let me get another card on that. Spirit, could you give us one more card to clarify the Four of Pentacles for us with the outcome? Okay, good. Okay, so what we got is the Ace of Swords. So these cards are saying that by practicing this moderation here and some patience, that and this card I think is saying that you again want to sort of practice moderation, kind of you may get to a point where the outcome of this, or at least the place where you are at this point, is you're benefiting somewhat from this situation, but perhaps not as much as you thought you would like to be. And so you may be inclined to either give up or push harder. So again, we kind of need to go back to this moderation, this patience, give it some time, let it work itself out. And then what will happen with that is you will have the clarity that you need to be able to see what the next steps are. And also, this is also speaking of not only knowing what the next steps are, but taking the appropriate next steps. So again, this is kind of slowing down, getting a good, solid base, kind of taking a pit stop at a certain point where you feel like maybe you're not where you wanted to be. You haven't achieved enough, but you have achieved some. You've achieved enough that you can be comfortable at the moment, but it's not what you'd really hoped for yet. But you need to just hold on for a little bit. Again, utilize some patience, and then this will clarify pretty quickly for you. You're not going to have to wait long, but you do need to have to kind of slow down, stop, take stock, and then things will open back up again. So if you hit a place where you're kind of confused, kind of disappointed, just step back a little bit, and then things will clarify for you, and you'll know the next steps to take. So Spirit, if we could, let's get some clarification on these cards for you. Let's get some clarification on things. Let's see, what do we want? What deck? I think we'll go with this one. Okay, Spirit, can you give us some clarification, please, on the Fool here in the predominant energies position for Taurus group 2. Clarification on the Fool. one or two more cards, please, Spirit. All right, well, that central position doesn't want to give us a whole lot of cards, but we'll go with this. What we got was the Strength card. So the Strength card is saying that you have the inner strength that it takes to put this into play, to stick with it, to be strong when it looks like things maybe aren't working out quite as well as you'd hoped. It's just a dip in the road. It's not the end. It's not even the overarching theme. And you have got the strength to ride this out, to get to the place where it's going to be everything that you hoped it would be. But it's going to take a little bit of patience. It's going to take a little bit of inner fortitude. You have to believe in yourself. And this says that you do have that. You've got this, you've got this drive. You've got this youthful energy, this excitement about life. And you've got the strength to bring that initial energy to a place of completion. So let's get some additional clarification, please, Spirit, on the Devil, Nine of Cups, and Prince of Wands energy over here, this unconscious factor that's influencing the situation for Taurus Group 2, please. Some clarification for this position here. Okay, so we got a couple of cards here. We got the Five of Wands and the Five of Cups. The Five of Wands and the Five of Cups speak of some confusion and some regret. So, again, we got the Devil card over here, sort of against the happiness and the action card, telling us don't be rash, or you may fall victim to, some bad habits, some situations that you may put yourself into that will not have a great outcome. So by being, too rash, acting too quickly without having any patience or really taking a good look at the situation might harm your happiness and the actions that you want to take. These cards, again, are speaking of being in a place that doesn't quite feel right to you. It may not be your typical nature to, like we said before, it might not be your nature to slow down. You may have always been one who just runs in, and you've been strong enough that you can make that work. You have, if not necessarily succeeded in what you did, you've always been at least okay in everything that you've done. But these cards are saying, all of these cards here are saying that you may need to take a look at that pattern of behavior. If that's the way you've always gone, if that's the way you've always dealt with things in your life, that and people have probably admired you for that because you're brave. You just jump right in, you do whatever needs to get done. But the long game for that may not be ultimately that successful. So I think that these cards are saying that you might want to look at that and kind of change it up a little bit. You might want to, this time, step back and kind of assess the situation a little more fully before you jump right in. And you can do that. You have that ability, but you've got to look you need to look at things more patiently. You need to take this temperance into account, and kind of try and balance things, moderate things, take more of the middle ground instead of just jumping in and saving the day and then being left out in the cold, because once you save the day, what's there left to do? So I think these cards are saying change up your pattern a little bit, change up how you normally do things, try a little bit different, approach to this. And the last card that we got is the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles speaks of being on your way to just amazing abundance and wealth and fulfillment. So by starting out a little more slowly and carefully, rather than rushing in, you are going to bring yourself to a place of great abundance and happiness and fulfillment, and you know, just pretty much in all realms of your life. It will bring you to a place that is much more satisfying and long-term than, you know, having these small wins and then having to start over again. Spirit, could you give us some additional clarification for the Justice card and the King of Wands over here in the conscious situation position, the conscious factor for Taurus group 2, please? Okay, so we got, okay, perfect. We got the 10 of Cups and we got the Lover's card. So, you know, by following all of this, what this reading is telling you, it doesn't get much better than this. The 10 of Cups is like the ultimate happiness. Just finding just a beautiful, beautiful place. And the Lover's card, this can be talking about a new relationship that is just a wonderful relationship as far as a love interest. It can be talking about a relationship that will become very fruitful, perhaps in your life path. This could be like a business partner, not necessarily somebody that you're working for, but someone that you are partnering with. This speaks of a partnership, and a partnership that's very, very fruitful for you, a partnership that's very fulfilling, and obviously very fulfilling in the long run. So wonderful cards there. So Spirit, could you give us some additional clarification on the Temperance card here in the action position for Taurus group 2, please? Clarification on the Temperance card, the action for Taurus group 2, please. Okay, so group 2, what we got was the Knight of Swords. And what the Knight of Swords is saying is that while we're talking about being patient and having moderation with these things that you are, whatever endeavor you're working toward, what this is saying is, I think it's kind of giving you a little bit of a lifeboat here. This is saying that when the clarification comes, when the clarity comes on what it is, what path you're supposed to take, what direction you need to go, and when you should do it, it's going to come suddenly, and it's going to be something that you can act on right away. So this isn't saying that you can't jump in and act the way you normally would prefer to do. It's just saying wait for the right time. And there is going to be a time when that's going to become very, very clear to you when the right time is, what the right action to take. It's all just going to drop in, and it's going to give you direction. It's going to give you the energy, and it's going to lead to all of the rest of this. So, you know, this is saying while you need to be patient, the way you need to start in this journey, not just jump in, is not going to be the whole way. You're not going to have to do that the whole time. It's not going to be like trying to hold a racehorse back the whole time. It's just saying, you know, go slowly into this to begin with, so you can kind of get the lay of the land, and then you'll know when it's time to break forward and break free and break loose and just go for it. So Spirit, could you give us a little bit more clarity, please? More clarity on the outcome situation here, the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, please. For Taurus Group 2, clarity on the outcome. Clarity on the outcome for Taurus Group 2, please. Okay, so I need to walk it back just a little bit. We got the Three of Swords here, and along with that, we got the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands. So the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands are both cards of decisive action, decisive and strong action. But the Three of Swords is a card of heartache, of disappointment. So let me back that back a little bit with the Knight of Swords. I believe still that the Knight of Swords is saying that you will know what direction to go. You will have clarity on your situation at some point that will lead you to the action that you need to take. After being moderate and patient, you will get to that point. But I think that these cards are saying that you don't want to just completely cut loose at that point. You do want to take decisive, strong action, but not, again, I think we're just going to have to continue to employ some prudence and not just go all in and just completely throw the baby out with the bathwater. You still are going to want to utilize some restraint, and then ultimately it will lead you to a place of great clarity and possibilities. And so, you know, I think that this is just a little bit of a caution here, to not lose sight of, and you know, perhaps this could be speaking of gaining a new skill as well. You know, if this is not the way that you've ever practiced your life in the past, if this is not the way that you've ever approached things in the past, this could be saying, you know, don't just throw it out. Learn from this and learn to approach things this way throughout the rest of your life. If you can use more patience, more temperance, more consideration, in everything that presents to you, you will have a lot less heartache than you might from the previous way of action here, when you just are kind of running in without consideration for all the factors, without consideration for the players involved, without consideration for the pitfalls that you might run into. So, you know, I think that this is just saying, you know, don't lose sight of the fact that by being a little more patient and a little more directed, that your outcome ultimately will be better. So let's take a look at the Oracle card that we pulled ahead of time. This is from the Santa Muerte Oracle. This Oracle does not have any words on the cards. So we'll have to take a look at the book. This is the 15 card. And it is one of the Aztec gods, whose name I will likely massacre. Tlazatlatl. So, this is the mother goddess of the earth. of sex, of the moon, and of birth, connected to the 2nd and 7th cards, the complementary primary impulse of masculine and feminine, which can only bring forth descendants by cooperating. Benevolent protector of fertility, we see her devouring a malevolent centipede, for she was also seen as a purifying goddess to whom people confessed their sins, which she purified by devouring them. The advice of the dead is to trust your intuition, but first accept and admit your faults to yourself, your defaults to yourself. Only in this way can your journey be prolific, rich, and unobscured by your ego. So this really is saying pretty much what this reading has said all along. Accept and admit your defaults, your typical way you do things, your faults in that, and then trust your intuition. If you slow down, if you listen to all the factors involved, if you use some patience, let the energy kind of fall in and land, and then feel what that energy feels like, what feels right to you, rather than just running roughshod in, then that's where you're going to be prolific and abundant, and don't let your true path be obscured by your ego. Don't be, always trying to look like the hero or heroine. Take some time, listen to your intuition, feel into the situation, and then act upon it, and you will be much, much more abundant and successful than you ever have been before. So I hope this resonated with you, Taurus Group 2. If it did, I would love to hear some comments from you. Click the like button, subscribe to my channel, click the bell button if you'd like notifications when new videos go up. I am, however, just very, very happy that you have been here. I hope this reading is helpful to you. And I am so thankful for you to be here. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you again soon. Hi, Taurus Group 3. This is your reading. We're going to start off with getting some messages from Spirit about the predominant energies for Taurus right now. So Spirit, could you give us 1 or 2 cards, please, with regarding the predominant energies that Taurus Group 3 is dealing with right now? Okay, so we got the Strength card. We got the Strength card for you as your predominant energy. Strength card talks about inner strength. It is not necessarily, being able to lift heavy things, but it is definitely being able to persevere. It's being able to be a shoulder for someone else to cry on. It is just a great deal of inner strength. So I don't know if that means, Taurus, that maybe you're going through some stuff right now, or perhaps you have someone close to you who's going through some stuff, or maybe this is just kind of generally who you are. Maybe you're feeling like you need a little inner strength right now. Maybe you've got something coming up that's going to test you. Regardless of whatever the case is, you have this inner strength. You are this strong individual who can persevere through whatever might happen to show up for you. So Spirit, could you give us 1 or 2 cards, please, messages regarding some any unconscious factors that Taurus group 3 might not be aware of that are affecting this situation. Okay, so we got the Moon and we got the Five of Wands. Both of these cards can speak of some confusion, some just kind of some darkness, not quite understanding the situation, something may be hidden from you. You may be not understanding a situation because someone is keeping some information from you, or you may be not understanding a situation just because you haven't been able to decipher what's going on quite yet in your own mind or in your own thoughts. So this may be external, this may be internal, it's hard to say, but this is basically saying that there is some confusion going on. You're not quite sure. You know, with the Strength card, you may be having to call upon some inner strength, but you're not quite sure why. You don't know what it is that is causing this. There may be some conflict, there may be some turmoil inside, but there's definitely some confusion. Just not quite sure what it is you're dealing with, whether that be coming in. You know, some people might be acting towards you a certain way that you don't understand, or it could be just that maybe you're just feeling a certain way and you don't understand why, because you can't see that there's any external influences that are causing you to feel this way. You just kind of do. So that may be what these cards are about here, whether that's coming from inside or outside. There's something there that you're just not able to quite tune into. So Spirit, could you give us one or two cards, please, with regard to a factor that's already in the awareness of Taurus that might be affecting this situation, please? One or two cards of a factor that's already in Taurus Group 3's awareness that could be affecting this situation. One or two cards, please. Okay. Okay, so we got the Devil and we got the Six of Pentacles. So, the Six of Pentacles card is, along with the Devil, is talking about you are feeling like you're feeling uncertain, you're feeling unsafe, you're feeling as though you don't have enough, or that something might be coming up that you're not going to be able to handle. So you may be aware of a situation that's going to necessitate that you have more resources than you think you do. So you might be feeling some trepidation, you could be feeling some unease, you could be feeling really frightened about this situation. But the Devil card, along with this, is likely saying that the situation is not as bad as you're making it out to be. You do have the resources to deal with whatever the situation is. And you have this inner strength as well. So you're really in a better place than you might think that you are at the moment. You could be just sort of in your head about the whole thing, or you may have gotten some information that's not complete or not correct, that's making you feel like you maybe don't have enough of, whether it's money or whether it's, you know, whatever it might be. You may feel like you don't have enough emotional stability. So, you know, this situation is likely making you feel like you're kind of out of balance. You really can't afford to, you just can't, you're maybe even feeling like you just can't hardly afford to subsist, not because you don't have enough right now, but because there's something coming up that you're going to need more for. You maybe are feeling like something's going to come up that you need more money for. You know, you may be having perhaps some concerns about a health issue, and so you're thinking that you may need to go to the doctor and spend some money. You know, you may just feel like you don't have maybe some support system that you have is going to be gone. Maybe you're in a work position that is not very steady or not very consistent, or perhaps might be going away. So all of those things might be making you feel like you don't have enough. You can't afford to, that you have to kind of hoard things right now. You have to hoard your abundance. You have to hoard your money or your sanity, whatever. But this may be self-imposed more than anything. It might just be that you know, whatever you're worried about may not even come to pass. And if it does come to pass, it may be much less, it's likely much less severe than you might be making it out in your head. So Spirit, could you please give us 1 or 2 cards, please, to clarify for Taurus Group 3 what action they might be guided to take right now? What action should they be guided to take? 1 or 2 cards, please, for Taurus Group 3. Recommended action or potential action for Taurus Group 3. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so the card that we got that jumped right off the table is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is saying that whatever the situation is, you need to seek out a higher power to sort things out, or you would benefit from seeking out a higher power. Let's just say it that way. Whether that would be, you know, someone who has more training, or someone who's a professional. If, you know, like I said, if this is a medical issue, maybe seeking out a physician to get some reassurance. If you're having sort of a crisis of the soul, or maybe you just are, you know, feeling kind of in the doldrums and not sure what that's about, you might want to meditate and maybe touch base with a higher power. You may want to, like, for instance, if this is a job situation that might be looking like it's going to be going away, then you might want to seek out an institution of higher learning, get some more skills. So whatever the situation is, this card is saying, look to something that can, look to a teacher or a higher power, or someone who has more knowledge, more, you know, just who has more experience, or, you know, is more equipped to deal with the situation. Don't try and go through it all yourself. You have this inner strength, but you may need some tools to get through this as well. So seek out this higher power, seek out this teacher, whoever this is. So Spirit, if you could please, well, now what did we do here? Oh, there we go. Spirit, could you please give us 1 or 2 cards here to messages for Taurus Group 3 on what the outcome, the possible outcome of this situation might be for them. The outcome for Taurus Group 3 of this situation, please. And thank you. Okay, so we got the 7 and the 10 of Wands. 7 and 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is kind of speaking of feeling a little bit trapped, maybe losing your way a little bit, But the Ten of Wands is while you're still carrying a burden, you are on the path to reaching the end of this difficult journey. So while it may seem like, you know, you are in a dangerous place right now, or a place that feels really uncomfortable, you are nearing the end of this uncomfortable time, this difficult time for you. You're still carrying this burden, but you're getting to the place where you're going to be able to put down this burden. You're going to be able to rest. You're going to be able to regenerate, and things are going to get better. There may still be a little bit of struggle for you, but ultimately things are heading toward getting better for you. So let's get some clarification on these cards for you. Aries group 3, excuse me, Taurus group 3. All right, let's see. Let's use this deck, I think. So, Spirit, could you please give us some clarification for Taurus Group 3 on the Strength card, the predominant energies position here for them? Okay, so Group 3, we got the Universe card and the Two of Cups. So this is a great reassurance that this inner strength that you have is going to bring you to a place, ultimately to a place of great fulfillment. Again, there may be some struggle involved, and certainly this reading has been talking about that, but when all is said and done, you have and will have just this wonderful place of fulfillment. You know, this could be a dark night of the soul that this is all talking about. And in going through that, sometimes we have to go through some dark places so that we learn the lessons and we get to a place where we are not where we started. We are well beyond where we started because we've had to struggle. We've had to, you know, we've learned great lessons along the way. We have proven to ourselves that we had the fortitude to do it. So this is saying that by utilizing this inner strength and going through these struggles, you are going to come to a place that is beyond your wildest expectations that you ever thought you could get to, a place of strength, a place of completeness. Also, this place will very likely include another individual who is in a very loving relationship with you. Whether this relationship is already in your life or whether this will come to you. If this is a relationship that's already in your life, they're going to stick with you. They are going to be there for you. They're going to be an additional sense, an additional source of strength for you. They are going to stand by you. If it's a new relationship, they are going to come into your life perhaps because of this strife that you've gone through. And this will be a reward, regardless of whether they're already in your life or whether they are coming into your life. It's going to be a great reward for you to have this relationship in your life, and to have a very, very strong sense of fulfillment from everything that you are going through. So Spirit, can you give us some additional clarification on the Moon and the Five of Wands cards, please, for Taurus Group 3? Okay, so Taurus, we got the Three of Swords, the Star, and the Hermit. Okay, so the Three of Swords was the first card that came up. Right on the heels of it was the Star. So, and then we've got the Hermit. So what this is saying is that, and again, we're back to the Hermit card, sort of echoes the Moon card over here. There's going to be some needing to go inward, needing to step back and shine some light into some dark places, needing to really search your soul, perhaps, look into things more deeply than you probably have before, to really get a sense of what's important to you, to really get a sense of where that inner strength lies. This may bring about, this will likely, let's put it that way, this will likely uncover some past trauma that may be coloring everything that you do. It might be tainting all of your relationships and your job and your belief in yourself. There may be this past sorrow, some trauma that happened in your life that led you to believe that maybe you didn't deserve to have good things. You didn't deserve to have love. But by going inward and looking to see what is really inside, you will heal that place. You will absolutely heal that place. And by healing that place, you will realize all of your wildest dreams. You will come to a place that is light inside. It's like a download from whatever powers you believe in, is going to come in and make you understand and allow you to open up and understand just who you really are. This person of this inner strength, this individual who is just the most beautiful individual. By going through this process, by going through this darkness, you are going to come to this place where you know in your soul that you are just the most beautiful creature, as all of us are. But you're going to come to feel that. You're going to come to believe it and feel it in your heart, that it is real and it is you. So Spirit, can you give us some additional clarification on the Devil and the Six of Pentacles for Taurus group 3, please? Taurus group 3. Clarification on the Devil and the Six of Pentacles for them. Okay. They're really hammering this. They're hammering this message home. We got the Tower, which means that there has been a place built up that is not supporting you. It's not solid. It's not a good foundation. It's like you've believed something all along that just wasn't true, and that's what you've been balanced on. You've been balanced on this untruth. You've been balanced on this foundation that is uneven and you know, it's like you had some crappy scam contractor that built this tower for you. And when you actually go down and look at the foundation of it, you know, one side was propped up on cinder blocks and the whole thing is just about ready to come falling down. And you have been believing that this was a good solid foundation, but it's not. It's not. The belief that you don't deserve everything wonderful, that you don't deserve love, you know, any belief that you've had that you are less, any sort of belief like that is built on a foundation that is untrue, that's not stable, that's not real, and it's going to come tumbling down, and it needs to come tumbling down. This needs to, it needs to be destroyed. This belief that you are not sound, that you are not solid, that you are not worthy needs to come tumbling down, and it will, and it needs to, and you are going to be able to rebuild because of that, because you're going to destroy this belief that is this place that's not really who you are. And out of that, you're going to have this Prince of Cups energy, this brand new, just lighthearted and optimistic and loving newborn energy. This is just going to be a new you that's just going to be happy and just so joyful, come out of this destruction of this untruth that you've been living on. So Spirit, could you give us please some clarification on the Hierophant for the action card for Taurus group 3, please? Clarification on the Hierophant. Okay, so Taurus, for clarification on the Hierophant, we got the Empress. So I believe that the Hierophant, I believe that this is, well, this is either an actual individual that you can turn to for help, or again, this is an energy that you can turn to for help. And by having the Empress card come out as well, I think if this is an actual individual that you can turn to, this is if not a woman, then at least a feminine energy. And with the love card here, the Two of Cups that we got, this very, very stable, gonna stick with you to the bitter end relationship, I feel like that may be who you can turn to really help you get through this situation. You know, whoever this loving relationship is, I think that may be the individual to turn to. If not a particular individual, then this energy that you want to turn to, and we're getting a lot of like feminine energy throughout the entire reading. You know, the Star card and the Moon card are both very feminine type energies. So the unconscious factor that we're looking at here has some very, very feminine energies to it. So I believe that perhaps if this is not an actual individual, this may be turning to your feminine side. This may be turning to more your intuition, more your passion, more your just the soft, loving, perhaps motherly energy. You know, maybe you need to mother yourself. That might be what this trauma is, this trauma that needs to be healed back here. This might be an inner child wound. So you might need to go in and just offer that inner child a new parenting, a new mother who just loves unconditionally. So, you know, this Empress energy, this unconditional love is what's going to bring you through this and teach you how to be that unconditional love that we truly all are. And you obviously are in this reading. Also, we got the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune kind of speaks of perhaps as you go forward, opening up to reaching into this feminine energy, this unconditional love, very likely can put you in a position where new fortunes are going to present themselves to you, whether that be a fortune in your material abundance, or if that's a fortune in your heart. I'd like to get some more clarification on that card. Spirit, can you please give us clarification on the Wheel of Fortune for Taurus Group 3, please? Clarification on the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands can speak of being in a bit of a struggle, which obviously you are in this situation here. But it also speaks of, even though you may be outnumbered or you may feel like you're overwhelmed by this, you do have a higher position. You do have a vantage point. You do have vantage point's not the right word that I want. You have a position of advantage. And I also think that by speaking of this higher position, I think that this again may be talking about seeking out higher guidance to overcome this battle that you feel like is overwhelming you. So I'd still like to get some more clarification on the Wheel of Fortune, please, Spirit. Okay. Okay, so we got the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords, we got the Six of Swords in combination with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Wands are talking about new beginnings. So obviously, you know, we've talked about that here. Clearing out some of this old trauma is going to bring you to a place of a new beginning. The Ace of Wands talks about taking action. The Ace of Pentacles talks about being strong. So, you know, drawing on this inner strength that you have, but not sitting on that inner strength, actually taking some action. And perhaps that's what this Wheel of Fortune is talking about here. Spin the wheel, take the steps forward, take the chance. And the Six of Swords leads me to wonder if again, if we're back to maybe an actual individual to help with this situation, someone who can actually help you sort of tease out what's going on. They can point out things that maybe you don't see, bring you some more clarity that you might not be able to see yourself. So I think that really this is talking about one of the actions that you need to do is not only taking some steps, but also bringing in someone to help you with this. So I think that that's what that is saying there. And finally, let's get some clarification on the 10 of Wands and the 7 of Wands in the outcome position for Taurus Group 3, please, Spirit. Okay. Finally, the last card in your reading, da, 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 it's the Sun card. So this is great happiness. You know, work your way through all of these struggles, nurture this inner strength that you have. Heal this whatever this inner trauma is, this unsteadiness, this base that's just not true. Find your truth. Find that just unconditional love. Bring in whatever help you need to, and this is going to lead to just a bright future for you. So I love that. Let's end with that card right there. Let's take a look at the oracle card that we drew. This is from the Santa Muerte Oracle. It is the 30th card. These don't have any names or anything on it, so we need to take a look at the book to see what that card is. The 30th card is the card of realization. It is the card of the accomplishment of one's work, the realization of one's projects, but also the comprehension of the entire process we are immersed in. Something with faraway roots has passed between our hands, infused emotions into our hearts, and finally bloomed like a flower in our mind and then in our work. We are made up of the same particles that make up any other atom of the universe. When we are moved by something, it is the universe that watches and is moved by itself, participating in this joyous merriment that was made possible only by the form, albeit a transitory one, that the Holy Mother has given us. The advice of the dead is, it is time to understand the nature of your act, because realization is coming and results are near. So yes, this is, you know, it's pretty much confirming everything here. Go inside, realize what it is that's inside you. Understand that you are the universe. You are universal love. You have been possibly traumatized or lied to, and you need to clear out all of those false narratives and feel that you are in fact the universe, unconditional love, unconditional possibilities, and that will lead to your happiness. So So I hope that this resonated with you, group 3. If it did, I would love to hear comments from you. Click the like button, subscribe to my channel, click the bell button if you'd like notifications when additional videos go up. But mostly I am just very, very thankful that you chose to come here today and be with me. So thank you very much for that, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.